Hello, welcome to Coffee Talk with Jill. I am Jill Allen, and I'm the founder and owner of Jill Allen and Associates, a practice management orthodontic consulting firm that focuses on startups and doctors who've been in a practice 8 years or less. And today, I'm bringing you my first coffee talk of the summer, and I had this really great question come in via email from Dr. Greg Ohanian in Pasadena, California. And he had asked me, "Hey, Jill, I am wondering if my financial coordinator could possibly work from home." And I thought, this is such a great question to be asking because we know right now just the temperature and what is happening within our orthodontic offices is changing a little bit. And I think that we, as business owners and people who are working within the orthodontic industry, have to be willing to make changes and pivots. And sometimes for the good of our team, for the needs of our team, and for the good of our practice. And so when Dr. Ohanian posed this question to me, I thought this is a great topic to bring up and bring to all of you. So his question again was, can my financial coordinator, can this be a position that could work from home? And I want to tell you that absolutely, I think that there are positions in the practice that could potentially be moved remotely and still performed and worked really well. And I think the financial coordinator position is definitely one of these positions. I know as we look back in the last couple years, we've seen more and more where we are starting to see companies that are looking at outsourcing positions like this. And I think that if you are a practice that's big enough to actually have a financial coordinator in your practice, and just in trying to alleviate the amount of team members in your practice at a time, I think this is definitely one of those positions. So what does that look like if you decide to take your practice financial coordinator and move her to an outside of the office position, or maybe outside of office hours position? First thing I would tell you is you really need to think about how will you empower this employee to work for you remotely. So what exactly does that look like? I think that it is in your best interest to provide them with a computer that is from the office so that you know that everything that they're working on stays secure. So if you, I think the easiest way to do it is a laptop that they can carry back and forth to the office. So I would get a laptop that's set up, have your IT company set this up for you so that anything that they're working on, that computer is just a work computer. You know that everything stays safe and secure if they are going home with it. I'm not a big fan of suggesting that they take financial monies home. So I do think that this role still requires that an employee come into the office. Maybe it's once a day or every other day to get insurance checks and different things like that. We don't want money coming home to the patient's house. But the way we take care of that, which I would suggest all of you doing anyways, is get all of your patients on ACH so there is not a lot of cash or checks coming into the practice. And then also look at getting all of your insurance payments online as well so that there's no money that is exchanging hands, and your treatment coordinator, or I'm sorry, your financial coordinator is just working on inputting that information. It's just data entry more so than actually handling. But if we have to come in and handle insurance checks or whatnot, that needs to be done within the office. Again, I think that this can be something that's done outside of business hours. I think this also allows for the financial coordinator. If you have a voice-over operating system or a phone system, there are apps within those voice-over systems where that financial coordinator can call right out through the app as if she's calling or he's calling from your office and get a hold of your patients just like they're in the office. So there is a lot of technology here to help you think outside of the box and think, how can we have our employees working, or some of our employees in our office working remotely from home. So I give that a thumbs up. We can absolutely think outside the box and look at getting our financial coordinators. And there could be some other positions that we could look at and discuss too outside of the office. So here's my thought. Recap, go ahead, and if you decide to move in this direction, get them a computer that is for the office. Make sure they have a way to communicate with uh, patients or insurance companies. I would suggest some type of a voiceover system with an app that you can use versus them just using their personal phone line, and making sure that they still come into the office. And then the final thing is, remember, this employee is still part of your team. So if you're having team meetings, they need to be zoomed in. They need to be set up on the desk virtually so that they can interact and still feel like part of the team. Just because they're working from home doesn't mean that they aren't part of your team. So Jill Allen here from Jill Allen and Associates. I wanted to throw it out there. These are some great questions. We're going to have some great questions coming throughout the summer. I've just had some really fun offices asking some really good questions. If you are in need of some consulting help, I wanted to throw it out there that I not only do big package consulting, but I also do coaching. So if you're a doctor that just feels like, hey, I could just use somebody to check in with every once in a while, please reach out to me. I'm happy to do an initial consultation with you. And then from there, we can see what works best from you. So again, Jill Allen here from Jill Allen and Associates. This is Coffee Talk. And next week, we're going to be talking about how to handle a bad review. Have a great day.